Okay, you jackasses, here it is. It's week 4 matchup preview time. I have a prior engagement tomorrow, so I will not be making the matchup previews tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and get this done today, and we're going to switch some things up because I've been doing my matchup last and I've been losing. So I'm going to switch it up. My matchup first. You got Fire Matt Nagy, which is me, versus Now Last Fuck, which is John. Now, here we go, John, you little shart stain. I'm going to kick your ass this week. The champ is getting back on target. And you heard that right. John is a shart stain. Kind of a grudge match here. I don't really appreciate the way John has been behaving towards me in the group chat over about the last 2 years or so. John's really been a dickhead. So here we go. Now I get to take it out on him this week in fantasy, which is how all adults handle their problems. You know, that's what we do. We just beat the crap out of each other in fantasy. And in this case, this is what you're going to get, John. And then I'm going to be brutal in the recap. I might actually give you guys a recap after I kick John's ass this week. So how am I going to kick John's ass? Well, you look at these players on my team, the thumbnail in particular, Mr. Antonio Gibson. It's Antonio Gibson season, guys. He's going to go out there against the Falcons. They're going to have no answer for him. Washington's going to just run the ball all day long. I'm expecting Gibson to have just a monster game. He showed what he can do when they throw him the ball. They're going to throw him the ball a little more. Now, also, Jonathan Taylor, this is his breakout game against the Dolphins. You got Noah Fant, great matchup with the Ravens because the Ravens actually suck at defending tight ends. Not really worried about any of my matchups. I think Herbert's going to feast on Monday night. And you look on the other side of things, and John's team is, it's just filled with fellow shart stains. You look at, Saquon Barkley at New Orleans. I'm not fooled by Saquon having the big game against the Falcons last week. Still had a terrible yards per carry. New Orleans is death to running backs, and Saquon will be no exception. He's not doing anything. Bold prediction, Saquon Barkley scores 8 or less fantasy points in this game. Also, you look at guys like Miles Sanders getting 2 carries a game. I mean, come on, you can't trust Miles Sanders. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to go bold prediction on my side of things. Mr. Tyler Boyd is going to get 2 touchdowns tomorrow night because T. Higgins is out. Tyler Boyd's going to fill that role. So, of course, I'm going to get the W. John's going to lose, which, he always does. He's in last place for a reason. He drafted terribly. He's managed his team even worse. So there you go. John loses again. Now, we got the Brady Bunch versus El Ultimo Bailar. So the last dance. I don't know why Tony is speaking in Spanish. I thought you hated Hispanics, Tony. That's what you always said. I don't know why you would be speaking in Spanish. But that being said, you got the Brady Bunch, which is the most generic and stupid team name in the history of fantasy football. Tom Brady at New England is going to go scorched earth, guys. I don't know what to tell you. He might throw 6 or 7 touchdowns in this game. Nick Chubb at Minnesota is a dream spot. I think Montgomery and the entire Bears offense gets back on track. I think it's possible that defenses are just going to key on TJ Hawkinson in the passing game. If they shut down TJ Hawkinson, the Lions don't really have much else to throw to. And I assure you the Bears know that. So, plus they have Roquan Smith who can just eliminate Hawkinson from the game. So I don't love Hawkinson this week. Joe Price should have sold high on him when he had the chance, but Joe never sells high on anybody. So there you go. On Tony's side of things, Mahomes, on paper, Philly's been okay up until last week. But if Dak could shred them, imagine what Mahomes is going to do to them. It's not going to be pretty. So Brady versus Mahomes is going to be big for this battle. Bold prediction on Tony's side of things. Devonta Smith turns it around. Devonta Smith is going to go out there in a shootout with Kansas City. He's going to put up his his first 100-yard game, and he's getting into the end zone. En route to, I think Tony gets the dub here. So that's my prediction for this matchup. I mean, Joe's got to start losing. He's just, his team's not that good. So it's got to happen. So we got beginner's luck, which is Safari John Heyman, and Staffordable Wooden Cup, which is actually a decent usage of your players for your team name. Not bad, Reese. I got to give you props for that. Gronk is a true questionable, as is A.J. Brown, as is Darrell Henderson. They're all true questionables. If they all play, that's great news for Reese, obviously. I'm going to lean on the side of at least one or two of these guys that is not playing. I'd be surprised if A.J. Brown is out there in particular. You look at what Reese's team basically comes down to every week is who's Derrick Henry playing and who are the Rams playing. So the Rams have a great matchup at home against Arizona, what's likely to be a shootout, divisional matchup, going to go back and forth. Derrick Henry gets about as easy a matchup as you can get with the Jets, and Derrick Henry is basically a human wrecking ball. He cannot be stopped, gentlemen, and for anybody that doubted him, you were an idiot. So bold prediction, Derrick Henry goes over 200 yards rushing against the Jets, gets into the end zone at least once. Another mega game for Derrick Henry. On Heyman's side of things, don't love the matchup with Russell Wilson at San Fran. He has actually historically struggled against them. Thielen's questionable, but he's going to suit up. I'm not concerned about that. Love Jamar Chase with T. Higgins out. Kyle Pitts, I don't know, guys. This Atlanta offense, Matt Ryan looks dusted. He looks like garbage. He looks like Vetri smells. It is bad. So I'm going to go ahead and go bold prediction. Kyle Pitts sees another lackluster game, 7 points or under, and I'm going to give the win to Reese here. Reese is going to knock off Heyman, and it's the beginning of Heyman's. Well, last week was the beginning of Heyman's fall from his beginner's luck bullshit, lucky nonsense. And, Heyman's going to just plummet to the bottom of the league. So now we have Misfire, the aptly named Misfire, Jared, versus the Ayatollah of Football Ola, Jason, and in a grudge match here. And, of course, it's week 4, so you probably figured about half of Jared's team is questionable. He's right on schedule for what he's usually doing as the most cursed member of our league. I'm looking at these matchups on Jared's side, kind of a must-win already, and I really don't like his matchups. At Denver for Lamar's tough matchup. Lamar's done okay in 2 games. He had 1 big blow-up game. I would lean more towards the okay side in this one. I don't think there's much chance he keeps up with Josh Allen at home against Houston. Brandon Cooks, really tough matchup at Buffalo. Calvin Ridley, same thing I just said. Matt Ryan is dust. I put out some trade offers to Jared for Calvin Ridley, and before he could respond, I pulled them off the table. Matt Ryan scares the crap out of me. It's ugly out there. I think Ridley's still a viable wideout to play every week, but his ceiling's just not going to be there with how bad Matt Ryan is. Julio Jones, a legit questionable and also in the doghouse. So he has a good matchup, but will he play? And if he does, will they even use him? DeAndre Swift, look, he's going to shred the Bears. It is what it is. The Bears, not great right now. Dalvin is going to come back. He's going to play in this game, and I expect him to find some success against Cleveland. I don't think he blows up, but some success. Kittle, he's not what we thought he was, guys. He's still a great tight end to have, relatively speaking, but he's not going to compete with Kelsey or Waller. He's definitely down a tier from there. So playing the Cincinnati defense is gutsy. That's really gutsy. I don't care that they're playing the Jags. That is terrifying to me. I don't think I could stomach it. Now, on Jason's side of things, it doesn't get much easier than Jason's matchups this week. He's got, of course, Mixon against the Jags. He's got Allen and Diggs against Houston, McLaurin against Atlanta, Keenan Allen Monday night against the Raiders, James Robinson against Cincy. Jason's going to get this dub, guys. Bold prediction. I'm going to say Keenan Allen gets off the schneid here. He's usually a low touchdown guy. I say he gets into the end zone twice as teams start paying more attention to Mike Williams in the red zone. So that's my bold prediction. On Jared's side of things, I'm going to go bold prediction. I think Kittle has another meh game. So I'm going to say 7 or less points for George Kittle en route to Jason getting the dub. Now, last and probably least, you have 2 GD contenders. You got Old Man Senior over here. Aaron, I'm not even going to say that because that's the dumbest team name in the history of football. Versus your deepest fantasy, which is Justin. And, you got a couple of teams that are pretty bad here. It's ultimately what I'm looking at. I think, I don't love Melvin Gordon. And that's kind of Justin's default RB1. Chuba Hubbard at Dallas is interesting. He's certainly interesting there. I don't know why Justin feels the need to continue to trot out Devin Singletary and his 2 points every week. I know they're playing Houston. This is not a team that runs the ball all that much, though. You're allowed to play a wide receiver in your flex, Justin, just so you know. So you might want to look into that. Hopkins, I think, is still limited, and he's going to get absolutely bodied by Jalen Ramsey. Kyler Murray, toughest matchup he's going to have all season at the Rams. Oddly enough, I really like Odell Beckham at Minnesota, and I really like Chris Godwin at New England. I think they both do very well. Goddard, I could see doing well, but you never know because sometimes it's Zach Ertz that takes it. On Senior side of things, Aaron Rodgers, I am not worried about at all at home against Pitt because looks like TJ Watt's going to miss another week, and that defense sucks without TJ Watt. With TJ Watt, I would say Aaron's a borderline sit this week because TJ Watt makes that big of a difference, but they don't have him. So Rodgers should have no problem shredding Pittsburgh. I think DK Metcalf could be in for another kind of, meh kind of game. Marvin Jones, Thursday night, bold prediction. Marvin Jones goes for 150 yards receiving Thursday night as they try to play catch up with the Bengals. I think Marvin Jones has a big game. I also think Amari Cooper bounces back nicely this week, and Kamara is going to bitch slap the Giants. Sorry, Justin. That's just the way it's going to happen. You guys don't have any linebackers that can run with Kamara. He's going to kill you guys. I'm going to go ahead and bold prediction on Justin's side. I'm going to say the Buffalo D does worse than you think. Buffalo's D goes for 5 or less fantasy points because Houston, say what you want about them, they don't particularly turn the ball over all that much. So winner of this game is going to be Aaron Senior. He's not the GOAT. Everybody knows Aaron Rodgers is nowhere close to the GOAT conversation. It's Tom Brady followed by Justin Fields. So there you go. There's your matchup preview. I'd like to once again remind you guys that you Vetri are a Shart stain. There you go. Good luck. Shart stain.